Ukienda sokoni ni kosi, ukifika mashuleni ni kosi, ukienda manyumbani ni kosi. Ukipita hapa, ukienda kule, wanasema yule. Ndo bingwa wa kisasa, wa zamani eti atakuwa nani? Ila kama si wewe, unaweza na Mwenyezi akulinde.
That's what we walked in, and there was this huge building, Zawadi Yetu, where we have these kids who were so happy being in this space, and they were running towards you, shouting, Kosi, Kosi, and it was just exciting to see that. And now we have this historic building that is going on. How do you get funding for this? Do you have partners or?
Yeah. So when I built the first school, I had already had 200,000 Kenya shillings saved. So that's $2,000. And I was like, I have a lot of money. I'm just going to build like a really nice Yamawe. Instead of building the tin roof one, I'm going to build the one like a very permanent structure. And then that's how much. Toilets are very expensive. But now I had told my siblings, they were on the ground working with mercenaries, they were working with contractors, they were trying to make the school happen. So I had to be creative how I paid for it. And so I made a GoFundMe page, like trying to raise money. I only raised 30,000 Kenya shillings, so $300. So that did not work that well. And then I started like asking people. I'll be like, Aki, I have people on the ground expecting to get paid. And for me, I know poverty, and I know hope. So when you get a job, like at least the kula sapa, at least I'm getting paid. And so for me, it has been very clear, like I have to pay my people. I have to pay them on time. It has to be predictable. It has to be dependable, right? And so when I knew that there were mercenaries on the ground working on the building, I had to find all the possible means to pay. And I had friends, and then I'll tell them, hey, can you give me like 500? And then when I get paid on Friday, I'll pay you back, and then send the money back home. Right? And so that's how any internship I get, any jobs I get, I'll just save that money and I built the school. And so when I went on, I graduated college and I had a computer science degree and I could work in the tech industry. I just kept, my life stayed the same. I've always been very frugal. For me, material things doesn't do it for me. I don't care. I really my life is bigger than me. Like if I can impact a lot more people, I'd rather do that than drive a nice car, than have nice shoes. For me, it's just like, and so as my paycheck got bigger, like I was going from making like 400 shillings a month to making like 3,000 $3,000, so 300,000 Kenya shillings. I just kept investing it back in the school, right? And so I added more classrooms to the first school so the kids can have space. I bought a 2-acre land, so this is where the building is. And then I was just ready. So as my paycheck got bigger, I kept investing in the school. And I just kept my life very frugal and I kept investing in it. So when I discovered that I could do Tech-led Africa full time, so when I discovered Tech-led Africa, that actually I can impact more people if I teach them digital skills, I quit my job as a software engineer. I already had like $35,000 saved. Because like, that's a lot of money. Getting a job as a software engineer is very easy. I already have a skill, I don't need to build anything. And so I quit my job and I convinced my partner to come into Kenya with me to figure out the program. And so I was doing so well. I had my $35,000. That's enough. That's 3.5 million Kenya shillings. I'm fine. I knew that I could do Tech-led. I could experiment with what Tech-led would become. So I was doing Tech-led full time. We didn't have any fundraising. We didn't have any money. So we were just like paying it from our pocket. But it was no issue because I had some savings from my tech job. And then I was doing so fine. The school was fine. And then Faith, this lady who came and told me about how she never went to school, and she asked me if she had her hair, if we had any hair programs. And then I realized that while tech can support so many people, you have to at least know how to read and write. What about those people who cannot read and write? And then I realized, okay, I'm actually leaving a big chunk of the community out. The older people, the people who and the women that were suffering the most in this abusive relationship, I'm leaving them out. So I started thinking about what can I bring, what can I do? So I talked to an architect. Now this time I wanted a much, much bigger building. I wanted a 4-story building that was going to have adult literacy, so people can faith can come and learn. People like Faith can come and learn. I wanted vocational training, so hairdressing, tailoring. I wanted a floor where like I could actually work with adults, because if I make the place very conducive with internet, if we have a much bigger space, I could actually have people come in and learn. I wanted a space where even kids, right, who don't have technical programs in their schools can come and learn. So then I had a vision. Four-storied building. The first floor is going to be the school, Zawadi, the school, like the kids going to the school, and digital literacy is part of their skills. All the kids in Zawadi who have come to Zawadi, they said they have been using computers all their life. Like all their schooling, for them, a school has a computer, and you learn. Like that's one of so the digital curriculum was very important in forming in this building. So I wanted the school to have facilities like that. I wanted the second floor to have, to be the place for the media center, the place where we can refurbish computers, the place where we can have people come over and work remotely. We can actually train people. We can actually try to bring investors in and set up like AI centers and stuff like that. So this is what the second floor was, the plan for the second floor. The third floor was going to be like just libraries. I wanted to create a safe environment for a girl to come and study. I wanted for it to have electricity. I wanted for it to be safe. I was even thinking about offering transportation, that if you come and study at Zawadi and you're going to be done at 2 a.m., you can just get on the bus and we'll drive you home, right? Because I did not have that. I was studying in a veranda, and it was very unsafe for me. So I wanted to provide a really nice environment for people to come and study. Because if you're at home, you're trying to study, and then you're like, osha vyombo, like do this, right? I wanted for like, and then if a parent knows that you're going to Zawadi to study, they'll just let you go. If they know that their kid is safe, so I wanted to have like a really nice library, and I also wanted to have adult literacy. And then the fourth floor now, so yeah, four plan. The fourth floor was going to be vocational training. So I wanted to have a hair school, I wanted to have vocational training, and I wanted to have even welding, and I wanted to have businesses from the area to come in and teach. So hence the four-storied floor. But I only had $35,000, right? And that was a really hard time for my family. So then I built the first. I knew I had a vision. 4 floors, this is what it's going to have. Then I built the first floor. That $35,000 I share for foundation. I didn't even. You can imagine if you spend $35,000 and then you see it being covered. Like even if like there was nowhere for one to sit, then I had to get creative, right? So my partner Tyler also had $35,000 because we were both software engineers. So he had saved a similar amount. So I was like, hey, can I get a loan? So he gave me a loan, $25,000. That's $2.5 million. That one, it went all the way to like just where it needs roofing. Then I went to another guy. I was like, I am ready. This school is ready. This school is going to be this and this and this. Just help me with $5,000. That's $500K, $500,000. I just put the roof in, and then I continue. And then he gave it to me, right? And so now I'm going back to America and I have a much bigger loan. Before it was the same play, but now on a bigger scale. So when I was only borrowing $500, now I'm borrowing like tens of thousands of dollars, like millions in Kenya shillings. And then the building was ready. We moved in. And then when I went back to America now, and COVID happened, and all the schools were shut down, I got a job as a software engineer. Now I had the skills. Mm-hmm. Before I was making like $3,000 a month. Now I was making like, I want to say like $7,000 a month, $700K, right? So I was able to pay back Tyler. I was able to pay back my friend, and then that was done. And then I started saving again. Again, I was very frugal. Even when I went back to America, we don't even have an apartment in America. We live in Tyler's parents' basement. American rent is $2,000. Who has that money? You're in a jenga cho, you know? So I'm like, hey, you're chonga up a jenga, like 1 month with a jenga cho. I'm like, no, I'm supposed to live a rent. So I just stayed there in the basement. And so I continued saving. And so I saved for all of 2020. I had $6 million saved up. And then when the pandemic, so when the schools reopened, I quit that job and I came to Kenya just to continue with TechLet. I had $6 million. I was like, now the goal, so this is an L-shaped, right? Now the goal is that for this other building, I should at least have the shutter, instead of putting a temporary roof, actually have the shutter, right? So $6 million, and then we went all the way to the shutter. just like Aisha. And then Mafundi, I had a very interesting like lead contractor. He was just always building. He was like, okay, now we just need this. That's not much money. Let's just need this. I was like, okay, jaribu, and then we keep pushing. And then someone else gave me an idea. For me, it was like, I'm building this for the community. And the beneficiary is the community. They were saying like, you know what? Since the second floor is gonna belong to TechLed, I was gonna just build it, like work so hard, get my own money, and then build it, and then give the floor to TechLed, right? I was like, this is what I want. I'm gonna just build it and then give it to TechLed. Someone told me like, you can actually fundraise for that. So we worked together with TechLed board, and then we come up with a lease. So the cost of each floor is about $6 million, so $60,000. So we worked with the lease. The board agreed, and they said we could fundraise for the second floor. So TechLed now paid upfront a 5-year lease upfront, which was like that is the market wage. So we made it discounted, and then I told the board that if we can do that, if TechLed can pay the $6 million, I'm actually gonna give TechLed another 5 years for free, right? Just add it on top. So TechLed now has a 10-year lease on this building to do whatever it wants with it. Now we're on to the second floor, right? And then we get the shutter. What is really funny about construction is that this stupid little thing, that thing right you see there, that is $4 million. Wow. The shutter is $4 million. You have steel like 8 by 8. You have like a D25 which costs 5,000. It cost 5,000 then. I don't know what it costs now in the Kenyan economy. 5,000, and you need like 200 of them, right? You have like D8. You need like 1,000 D8, and that right now is going for 800. So just that alone, like just the steel alone, you're looking at $2 million, and then you have to hire the structural engineer, and then the cement. It takes a lot of cement. I don't even know how many bags. Sometimes we even have 3 loads of bags delivered here. So you look at this stupid little 8-foot thing, and it's $4 million. So sometimes, and then, so what would happen is that we'll have the shutter done, right? And then I'm coming to the site the next day. I'm telling the fundis like, we're out of money. And then I find that they already started like building up, because they're like, oh, we only need $30,000 for just stone, and then we can just pile up. We already have some cement left over. I was like, you know what, keep going. So we went all the way to where we need another shutter. I don't have money. I really don't have money at that time. I'm like, so I was getting ready to think. And then I was on the call with someone, and I told them, I've made it so far this time. I have 2 floors. I only have like 2 floors left. And then I'm so excited. Like, I'm so glad that because that building was only, and this one has made it to 2 floors. And then the call is over. I just shared, and then I went home. And then she texted me, how much do you need to finish the building? Yeah, and then I was like, you know what? Last time I took a loan for 25,000, that 25,000. I was able to pay back in 6 months. I should just only double that. I should not ask for more loans. I should not ask like for more than I can afford. Like, because it was gonna like a relationship. Then I just said 60,000. Like, so I said 6 million just to finish the shutter, right? So now we're already on that floor. She was like, okay, done. She wired me the money. I had 6 million in my account. Right now we made it all the way to. And then now we just needed the last shutter, which could actually be a roof. But I really wanted, there's this guy, his name is Rocky. So we call him MC Rocky. There's this guy who I just see, there's so much fire in him. Like you give him an inch, he goes a mile, right? I showed him LinkedIn, now he has like almost as much followers as me, or even more. Always just like chatting on LinkedIn, just building his brand. And I really wanted, and as also an event person, I was like, you know what, I really want to get Rocky an event space. So the reason that even that we have it as a slab is because I wanted that to be the event ground. So Rocky can have events and stuff like that. So I was like, no, mimi siweki mabati, lazima ikuwe an event ground. And nikasema like, akini wewe ina haraka. And then all of a sudden there's this guy who has internet. He's like, you know what, this building is so tall. Ukimaliza tu hivi nitakuwekea internet. So now I went back and got a few other loans, and I finished it. And so which meant like I had to get a job. So when I was here, like now, so this started in March 2021. In about August, September 2021, we were done. So the building took 5 months, the whole building, right? Even with the Wi-Fi. And then so I went back to America, and I had to get a job. But this time, because I'm a software engineer, I'm making like $1 million a month, right? And I don't have any expenses. I'm still living in the basement. This millionaire is living in the basement. Then I started paying back the loan. I had loans to pay, about 7 million to pay. So I was working, and then I came to Kenya. But then now it's like, I have TechLit, right, which is growing its own legs. We have 20 educators and IT support, and then I have a board. I'm the CEO of TechLit Africa. I have to run that. There's a lot of work involved. I'm doing marketing. I'm doing fundraising. But then I also have a loan that I need to pay. So I got another job. But this time, when I was interviewing, I told them I have to work from Kenya because if I stay in America, TechLit is gonna swindle, right? It's gonna it's still very fragile. I need to be here for it. And so I came back, but this meant that in the morning, starting at 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., I was TechLit CEO. And then from 9 p.m. until 3 a.m., I was Nelly Cheboi software engineer. So I wasn't sleeping. I was just like working, like I was so tired. Like I'll just wake up in the morning, I have to do all this TechLit stuff, make decisions. And then at night, I have to like talk to my boss and just like get the software engineering code done. It was good money. I was making $1 million a month and I was able to pay them back. I was able to pay them back actually, I finished paying them back like 2 weeks ago. Then I was like, you know what, I quit. I want to take a break. The building is done before I'm 30, which was so cool. And and that's how the building happened.
Wow. And now you have, through that, the community is able to get internet from here.
Yeah, they're able to get internet. And we already have what I wanted. Like we have a hair school, we have the music studio, the media studio. For what is left, I just need to put windows and all that, and then people can move in, you know. So it's already there. It's like, it's so funny because the first building, like winning on the first building was just like putting a roof on it and having kids move in.
Looking back, how with the criticism and everything, how does it make it feel? How does it make you feel with this project here?
I think just as a person that I am, I don't really care about vanity. I don't really care about like, oh, you're the CEO of TechLit Africa now, like drive a car. They keep telling me, nunua tu gari. Like unajenga nyumba ya mamilioni, just nunua tu gari. Even Moha was telling me that, nunua tu gari. They keep telling me, uko na nyumba kubwa, usijenge tu pale utaishi, mbona unaonyesha nyumba ya kukodisha. But for me, it's like, I don't care. I just don't care. Like for me, it's more about like, did I solve that problem that person had? This person who is really suffering. People are dying here just because they can't afford medicine. There was this boy who had really very painful chest pains. And he needed 3,000 Kenya shillings, $30, to go to the hospital. And then, because I think she was like his symptoms were getting exacerbated when he would eat particular kinds of food, like when you eat sukuma wiki, and then he gets these really painful chest pains. And then his mom told him, like, we don't have the money. What's kula to sukuma? Like, don't eat. Just avoid those foods. And you're a little boy, right? Like that kind of poverty, that kind of pain. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter if I drive a car or not, but if I'm able to fix that problem, right? If I'm able to sustainably fix it, give people decency, you know, like if you're able to earn your own income and then spend it however you want it, that kind of dignity, right? And if I know how to do that, if I have an idea how to do that, I'll move mountains to make it happen. Yeah. And that is so much bigger than what car I drive, what shoes I wear, what house I lived in, right? And so I even delayed having kids because I kind of just really wanna make that happen.
Yeah, they say identifying a problem.
Yeah, just keep working, just find different ways to do it.
It makes you huge than you think you are.
Yeah, I'm just gonna die someday. But if you can leave this earth knowing that you left better than you found it, if you know that rural Africa is a place of opportunities now, not of scarcity and pain and starvation, like what else could you ask for as a person?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Your parting shot.
I really think that you as a person who's watching, you will think that you don't have the power to change your situation. You'll want to wait for investors. You'll want to wait for well-wishers to help you. You'll just sit there waiting. You'll have ideas, but you just sit there waiting. You look at yourself and see that I'm a small person. I'm going to bed hungry. I'm a teenage mom. What can I change in this world? But I'm telling you, if there was someone who can fix the problem that you had, the best is going to be you, because you know the pain. You know what it's like to have that problem. If you're a teenage mom, you know what it's like to be a teenage mom. You know that if you get pregnant when you're young, you're kind of like excommunicated. You drop out of school, right? You have to support your kid. And so who's the best person to fix teenage pregnancy than you, because you know it, right? So look at your problems, look at around it, and see how you can lift yourself up. And I'm telling you, when you lift yourself up, people show up and help you. But if you're just there sitting, waiting, no one is going to find you. But if you really, really, you have the power to do it. Start with what you have. Just start. Don't care like how it goes. Don't care about failing. We fail. No one cares. Like, no one cares about what you're doing. So if you fail, no one is going to know. Just do it, right? Just start. Make some noise. Always make some noise. And you'll find people to support you along the way.